Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber. So today we are going to be doing a mini book haul slash summer TBR. So all of these that I got, I am going to be focusing on these for June and July. And I am branching out. I mainly read fantasy books, and I have for the last year, but I want to get more into romance books and mysteries and thrillers. So that is our whole entire haul today. So the first package that we got is from Amazon, and I got It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. Now this one is about Piper, who is a influencer. She has a reputation for being a wild child, and after a party one night she ends up in jail. So her stepfather ends up cutting her off. He sends her and her sister to Washington to run their father who's passed away bar, and there Piper meets Brendan, who is a sea captain. It's kind of that grumpy sunshine mix, and this is small town. She wants to prove her stepfather and Brendan wrong, that she's not just, an influencer party girl. And she is torn between the LA lifestyle, but as she's back in Washington, she kind of starts to drag up those old memories. She's starting to feel more at home, and Brendan's there, so she kind of has to decide if she wants to go back to her old ways or stay with him. Then we got Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey also. This one is about Fox Thornton, who is a notorious flirt. He's known to pull the women, and he meets Hannah Bellinger, who does not fall for the charm and the flirtations from him, so she wants to be friends with him. So he gets friend zoned, and she has a crush on a coworker actually. She ends up staying at Fox's apartment with him in his extra bedroom, and she wants him to kind of teach her how to flirt and pull the guy that she likes. But of course, during all of that, feelings start to arise between them, so that sounds super interesting. The next two that we have is Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. I love this cover. I think it is beautiful. It's definitely screams summer. So this one is about Fern, who for a day in her early 20s met Will, who was an artist. They spent the whole day in the city together, and they agreed to meet up again 1 year later. She showed up, but Will didn't. So now Fern is 32. She's back at her hometown running her mom's lakeside resort, and there her ex-boyfriend is the manager. Then Will shows up, but is now in the expensive suit. He's not anything like the artist that she met in her early 20s, and he is supposed to be who ends up helping her run this lakeside resort. But it says that Will is hiding something, and Fern's not sure she wants to know what it is. That sounds really interesting too. So finally, for the last romance of this summer, I got Emily Henry's Beach Read, and I always see this as a recommendation. So I finally decided to pick it up. It is my first Emily Henry book. I'm hoping that I enjoy it as much as everybody else, and if I do, I'm going to definitely pick up the rest of her books. But this one is about Augustus, who is a author of literary fiction, and January, who writes best-selling romance. They are polar opposite people. They end up being neighbors for the summer in beach houses, and they both have writer's block. So they agree that they're going to swap scenarios on writing. So he's going to be the one that's writing happy-go-lucky, and she is going to be writing the literary fiction. They also agree that they're going to take field trips together to kind of get inspired for each thing. But of course, it's a romance, so we all know what's going to end up happening. But that one also sounds really good. I think the one that I'm most excited for in the romance books is the Meet Me at the Lake. I think that one to me sounds the most interesting, so I'm really excited for that one. Next up, I picked up The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. This one is about Hannah's husband Owen ends up disappearing, but he gives her a note before he leaves that says protect her, which is talking about his daughter Bailey. And she tries calling him. All her calls go unanswered. The FBI arrests his boss, and she has U.S. Marshal and federal agents showing up to her house. So her and Bailey are trying to figure out what exactly happened to Owen and what he has done for all of this to happen. Oh, and also Bailey lost her mom when she was young, so Hannah is the stepmom and Bailey wants nothing to do with her, but now they are stuck working together to try and figure out all of these unanswered questions that they have about Hannah's husband, Bailey's dad. So that one sounds pretty interesting. I haven't heard too much on this book, but yeah. The last two books I picked up from Target, and I got The Guest List by Lucy Foley. So this is a wedding that happens on a Irish island, and someone has been murdered, but it says the bride, the plus one, the best man, the wedding planner, the bridesmaid, all have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is a murderer. I did see this one on Sarah Caroli's. I'll link her page down below. She's a booktuber that I watch super often, and she enjoyed this book, so that's what made me pick this up. Then I picked up The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose, and this one is Sarah is a defense attorney in Washington, D.C., and her husband is a writer, but he hasn't had a lot of success in his career, so he ends up going out to their second home in secluded woods, and he ends up starting up an affair with a woman named Kelly Summers. She ends up being found stabbed to death in their second home, and Adam is the only suspect. So now Sarah finds herself being the defender for her own husband, who's accused of murder. This one sounds super interesting. I am very excited to start this one. So that is my summer TBR / little book haul. Like I said, I am trying to branch out more into romance, mystery thrillers, trying to kind of get out of the fantasy books. I do really enjoy them, but I've been finding that I'm kind of getting into a slump lately with reading, and I think it's just because I kind of went on a binge of buying books that are pretty similar to each other, and so I'm kind of getting burnt out with that. So I'm trying to get out of that. Summer to me is more like romance, thrillers, things like that, not fantasy. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them. If there were any that you loved, any of them that you didn't really care for. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.